I've got a couple of my job search friends here. So inside Club Ichi, we've got a job seeker membership. You can log on to our website, weareichi.com, and you can get the job seeker membership. It is free for 90 days. That gets you inside our Slack channel, which is where the jobs channel is. I think we had over 72 jobs posted in the last month, just in that jobs channel. And then we have something called the Job Search Club. So following the book Never Search Alone by Phil Terry, we take everybody through that process of really figuring out what is your sentence, who are you, and try to help you really hone in on how you can go find a job. But it is not easy, folks. It is a rough time out there. And some of our job seekers who are part of that Job Search Council are going to come in and chat with me a little bit about what it's really feeling like out there, because I think it's a little bit of desperation and despair, but how are we making it through? What is the glimmer of hope? And how is this world looking for 2026? Jennifer, Marc, hi.
Huh?
Hello.
Hello.
So good to see
welcome. Yes, so good to see you too. So we had a moderator, Jeremy Parks. He got called to jury duty. We all said, there's no way. None of us have ever actually been called. He'll totally be fine. And then last night, he's like, nope, sorry, guys. I got called up. So I get to be here and hang out with you. So, and I know you two have been extremely active inside the job search community, helping each other, helping other people, really getting support too. And tell me what's going on out there. These ATS things that you apply for are a disaster. Senior level event professionals are being pushed aside. What's happening?
Well,
Yeah, so it's
go
crazy.
ahead, please.
No, I was going to say, Marc, you go ahead.
Yeah, it is a smorgasbord of emotion out there right now. It is. I'm 8.5 months since my termination, and it is for me. As you talked about, I'm a little older in the workforce, and trying to understand and reapply into the workforce has been crash landing, quite honestly. I mean, I didn't know what ATS was, right? I had to go and figure out what an ATS was. A friend of mine's a recruiter, and I sat down over a beverage and we sat there and talked about what is ATS? What does the resume look like? What is
Sorry,
the
guys, that's
value?
the wrong lower thirds. This is actually Marc LeDuc, not Marc Gaffori. So once we get the right lower thirds so people will know who you are and can hire you, keep talking.
Oh, no worries, no worries. And hopefully it's LEDUC, not the other way around. I get that. People get dyslexic on my last name, but that's okay. So anyways, the challenge really for me was to understand what I was dropping into. I spent 18 years in the events business doing technical conferences for the mobility community. So if you get in a car, you get in a plane, or you look at commercial vehicles, I'm the guy that was behind the scenes researching all the technical content that goes into that, ADAS, all the human machine interface, everything in it. So I spent 8 years totally immersed in that. And then all of a sudden I had to find out, what does a resume look like now? Resumes are completely different than when I first started. That was number one. Number two, what is the value of a cover letter? Is it yes or is it no? There's great debate about whether the cover letter adds any value and how much should you really put into that, right? That's the other part. The third part is, even if you get to the interview, is to understand how to make sure you are aligning culturally in the interview. And I say this, like I put out a post on LinkedIn. I wear a bow tie. That's my gig. I've worn them forever. I love them. But I get interviewed with folks in t-shirts. So does a sport coat and a bow tie reflect the cultural design of someone that you're going into? That's the other part. It really is. I know I'm on the planet Earth, but it really feels like I've crash landed in a little bit of Superman's Bizarro world, right? It looks the same. It's a multiverse. It looks the same, but it really is quite dramatically different.
Yeah, no, I definitely feel that. And Jennifer, similar story, right? It's just learning how to approach all of this is a whole job in itself.
Yeah, it is quite the navigation. So just a little bit about myself. I'm an event marketer pro. I just love bringing that full cycle B2B strategic event to life for global tech companies. So I love creating that experience and truly connecting people. So that's where my passion is when it comes to event management. But what I've struggled with is I've been through this. I've been through 3 RIFs in the past year and a half. So each time it's just this new journey. It feels a little different this time. I don't know. Maybe it's just because also that I've been through it. So I know what it takes, and I know what it can take out of you. I think that's kind of where I'm struggling too, is trying to keep that momentum up, trying to just show up every time. There are,
Amen to that
there are
right
some
there.
strategies and things.
Are you, either of you, or how are you viewing this? Is it a numbers game? You just apply for all the things that might work, or are you being really targeted and strategic and only applying to the ones that you would really fall in love with?
I'll jump in
I'm
real
a little
quick.
bit of both.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I started out super strategic. I did a heavy research and said, okay, who are all of the associations that I want to be a part of? How do I recruit within that? Because it's about the networking, right? It's not just about the application. There's a lot of jobs that never get posted. So you look at and say, okay, who are the associations? Who are the director of meetings? How do I engage and reach out to those? So it's really specific for about the first 4 months was really, and then all of a sudden, after, not a sob story, but after about 100 rejections, pretty soon you start to open up, and that shotgun approach becomes much more of, and to the point being made, it's an emotional roller coaster, because you wake up every morning going, I'm not employed. And that's the way I start out my day every day. It's not, hey, Marc LeDuc, father of 2, husband, all around good guy. I wake up every morning and go, okay, and I put the left foot out, the right foot out, and I'm unemployed. And every day is like that. So you start out with, so there are some strategies that I've been trying to do to keep that emotional, right? Keeping a good sense of emotion, right? That's the secret to me, is you can go down a rabbit hole pretty quick after about 6 months.
Yeah, you sure can.
What value do I have?
So Jennifer, after, I know you, if you've been through it multiple times, that first time is definitely the most traumatic, and you go through all of those stages of grief. But now this time, so obviously it's no less impactful on many levels, but in some senses, you said, I knew what to expect. So what have you gone into this search thinking differently this time?
Well, I was going to say, when it comes right down to it, it's the community. I've really relying on your community. Of course, Club Ichi. I mean, it's been amazing. The resources, the people, the just knowing you're not going through it alone. I mean, that's pretty much it. Learning from others. Also, the resources when it comes to building your confidence, because your confidence level just demolishes sometimes. You're just like, am I maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe you start to not believe in yourself and your capabilities. So a lot of that is I try to become empowered by learning new skills or keeping up on trends or going to classes and keeping that going to really reflect like, hey, I am more than capable of doing this. This is my passion. This is what I love. So kind of just making sure whatever it is that can make you feel empowered, as opposed to pulling that negativity, in, and keeping that as far away as possible. I apply, everywhere, I guess I should say, when it comes to the types of events or the types of roles that I just am excited about. And then there are some where it's like, okay, my skills will transfer to that. Absolutely. Like I could get excited about that too. But I think it's just hard to not only navigate, but also take advantage of the things that are out there and be bold.
Yeah.
That's another thing, is just showing up, being there, making connections with your connections, reaching out, community
Are
is
either of
huge.
you going down the freelance path and picking things up during this time, or are you focused on finding full-time employment? Because I've heard actually horror stories. We have one of our community members who took some freelance roles and then didn't get the full-time job because the freelance project was ending the week they wanted her to start, and they would not be flexible and give her that extra week, so they declined giving her the opportunity for that. And that is just puts even more stress on you. So how are you looking into those?
Yeah. I'm at this point taking where I can. I have, we all kind of immediately have this knee-jerk reaction. I think after 4 months, I'm going to throw a shingle out and see what happens, right?
Yeah.
But let's be perfectly honest with you. It is not for everyone. Consulting is not for everyone, because you have to have a certain mindset of as a startup. You also have to understand that as a startup, you may be a year without work, right? That's because you're spending all of that time pitching what your new consultancy is and freelancing, and how do you pick that up, right? And so to me, it's very much of two different minds. Do I either go in full time and look at a full time position, or do I commit 100% to? Because you can't be half pregnant. I'll just put it that way.
Right.
You can't be half on either one. So for me, I thought that I could do freelance, and it became very difficult because I started chasing that and not chasing full time.
Yeah.
And then I became very split. And so for me, I still do offer out what I can offer folks as a consultant, but I'm very much in the mindset of, I'll work for the man again.
Yeah. Yeah. Jennifer, how about you?
Yeah, same here. I mean, I've never gone the freelance route, so it was very new to me this time around. And when an opportunity came up, I jumped right on it, and I loved it. There are things out there where I'll just be like, I can work part-time there. And it's that networking. So learning new skills, that helps me too. So I might, luck for a better word, is intern for a lot of things, because I'm like, hey, I want to learn that too. So when it comes to freelance, I think it does give you that flexibility. It gives you that hope, and it widens that circle of people that you're going to be able to connect with and share like, hey, you never know when something's going to come up. You never know what avenue is going to take with you showing what you can do with that person. Then they know someone else, or they know that type of connection.
Yeah. Do you find that in a freelance role, are you able to get opportunities to do things that maybe you don't have perfect expertise in, and like you said, intern a little bit, or are even the freelance roles looking for you to have 40 years in one thing so that you come in and do the one thing?
It just depends. So a lot of it was, every event is different. I don't care what you're doing, you're going to learn something new no matter what.
Yeah.
But there's things like some people may just need logistical help. I'll go help out them. There are some people that, like virtual. I'm trying to sharpen my virtual skills. So there are some things that I volunteered just to learn that. And it's scary, but at the same time, it's not that scary. It's kind of like, oh, I can do this. I can get that. So it builds that confidence up too.
Yeah.
That but from a contract perspective, like signing on to some of these contracts where they're going to need you for a year, or they're going to need you for that. Like, I'm apprehensive of doing anything like that, because I am looking for full-time. I am, for, in-house. So those are one of the things where it's like, oh.
And then you got the NDA part of it, all of it.
Yeah.
I think, I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to go back to your original comment when you first got on, Marc, talking about cover letters. Do they matter? Do they not? What's your current opinion on cover letters?
The jury is out. I'll be perfectly honest.
Along with Jeremy.
Yeah, well, there you go. I thought I could die about 12 Angry Men, right? Great movie. The thing about it that I think is really interesting is that I think of you have 8 bullet points. I have an 18-year career. The reason I bring it up because it's just different. I've worked for 2 companies my entire career. So that's it. I don't have a smorgasbord of 5, 5, 5, 5. I have a 13 and an 18-year career. So how do you put in 15 bullet points or less an 18-year career that you started out at this level and you became a manager and you're kind of the number 2, kind of a doer of all, a master of most, a specific generalist is what I call myself. Like every single thing that you can think of from the event side of the business, I can do. What I was paid to do was to create technical content. So within the events meeting business, there are those of us who are unique. That's the part about when you look at here, I'm looking for a job. right? You look at, I want an event manager. Okay, well, what does exactly that mean? Right? That's the part of the, when they said event manager, are you talking logistics? Are you talking contract negotiation? Are you talking about venue? Are you talking marketing? Or are you talking about actually doing the research and finding and recruiting all of the speakers that make up the content for that? What
It's
is
all of
it?
it.
Yeah. But the problem is that then by the time you do that, when you actually go in, most of it is a lot of logistics, venue, contracting, that sort of thing. And you're like, yeah, I spent 18 years sitting right next to the person who did that. So I have every one of those skills. But they're like, no, you're this. And so that is the part that I think is really difficult. And I'm tying it back to the cover letter, is to me, the cover letter was to be able to say, look, in 18 years, you put your hands in a lot of things.
Yeah.
And these are the specialties. So I pull out all of these details, but never once in an interview has anyone ever said, this cover letter says this. It's always the resume, and it's that one bullet point that says, oh, by the way, you were part of an organization that was $6 million business unit. Tell me about what was your financial responsibility to that. And I said, well, if I didn't create the proper content, you don't have an event. Well, did you have to sign it? So it becomes very much about certain things that are very, and so the jury is out for me as to whether, because no one ever references cover letter.
Yeah. Same thoughts, Jennifer?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like cover letters, I mean, they're more required than anything. Or if you don't put one in, then you don't want to miss out either, you know? And it is a place where you can highlight, hey, I'm going for this role, but my skills can transfer this way. So it's a way to explain it. But like Marc said, it's never been brought up on an interview. They've never said, okay, in your cover letter, you state this, or, anything like that. It's never referenced. It's definitely the resume. The resume seems to be the thing that the recruiter will pass on to in all the interviewers.
Yeah.
So
tell me a little about your
honestly, I don't
process.
know.
So the process of getting it passed on. So you are applying to whatever automated system that either gives you an insta-no or sits there forever and goes nowhere. And then are you reaching out to someone at that company or a recruiter and saying, hey, I've applied for this role? Or what are your steps? Jennifer, I'll start with you.
Yes. So definitely I reach out. First of all, I go, of course, where you find it. Most of it is on LinkedIn that I'm coming across, those types of things. Or I'll find it on another website, go to the company's website, because I do have a short list of companies that I would really like to work for. And then I check who's connected or who's connected to that connection. And I reach out and I say, hey, would you recommend me? So you go through that whole process to hopefully stand out. Get some traction when it comes to once you apply. And then once I apply, I definitely look at the job description, try to, meet those needs, make sure that it aligns with my resume, make sure it aligns with the cover letter. And then as well as reaching out if they have a hiring person, flagged on the job description. And I just send them a letter. I just send them a simple note. Hey, I applied. I hope you consider me, something. It's not going to hurt. It's not going to, it may help, it may not. But those types of things that I just try. And then when I get the rejection, because they do come across, you can always tell from the first, you don't even need to open up the email, but I honestly do not even open it. Unless it's most of the time I'll just put it in a file. I'll just get rid of it because I don't want it to bring me down, because you're going to get rejections, and who knows why. You can't sit there and try to decide why wasn't I good enough? Why wasn't I, who knows?
Yeah. Yeah. I actually heard a tip from one of our other members who said, even if you get an auto rejection from the ATS, it doesn't actually mean you got kicked from the system. It means you didn't get matched and passed on to the recruiter. So there may still be opportunity if you can find someone in the company that you know or someone else knows, or a hiring manager or a recruiter, to say, get a conversation with and say, I did apply, I am in the system, would love for you to take a look, especially if through that networking opportunity, if you can find someone that maybe that's still worthwhile.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Try every avenue.
Yeah. 100%. LinkedIn is the new Rolodex, right? Let's just be perfectly honest. That's the thing. I'm a little disappointed. I'm not going to bash LinkedIn. They're a business. God bless them for going out. But what, some of us are making decisions, with regards to whether I pay $39 a month or if I can get a discount for $19 a month versus, what you're spending that money on. And is there an ROI LinkedIn? And now LinkedIn has now dropped to only three connects a month that you can actually physically write to the person, not just connect.
Yep.
And they dropped the character limit from 300 to 200. That's a new one.
Yeah.
So now all of a sudden you have to become the Spengali of 200 characters or less. And in trying to reach out to a connection. So it really, and all of the analytics is not in the basic, it's in the premium. And so it makes it extraordinarily difficult for a person who is looking for work to try to use LinkedIn, because a friend of mine who is a LinkedIn guru said it best. Why I wish LinkedIn would have gone with additional things to the premium package rather than pulling away from the basic and saying that's now your premium.
Yeah.
So you had 6, you had unlimited, then you went to 6, now you're down to 3, now you're down to character count. But the secret of it is it's about making that connection and finding out, you and I are connected, you know this person. Can you make an introduction for me? And that is spending an enormous amount of time trying to use LinkedIn, because it's a brilliant tool. It's just now, unfortunately, got to the point where the premium package is the only, the premium is basic. Basic is,
Yeah. Well, Jennifer and Marc, find both of them inside Club Ichi. Look them up on LinkedIn. They are both actively looking for roles, and I'm happy to introduce you to them. So we've got a B2B event marketer, we've got a content and event producer. So let me know if I can help you get connected. And I'm so grateful that I had you both here with us today. Good luck. Have an amazing weekend, and we'll continue to see you online and highly happily employed in early 2026.
Well, thank you so much. Really appreciate the opportunity to showcase. 100%. Thank you so much.